Smoolio! Do you have a therapist? Are you okay? Like, do we need to get you talking to someone? What am I
Therapy's
looking
expensive, drawing is free.
Hello everyone, welcome back to Open Arms Reactions. My name is Casper Fox, this is Mortius, and today we're back with Epic the Musical.
Today, we are checking out a brand new to us Puppeteer animatic by Smoolio! Say hi, Smoolio!
Hello there.
Good job! That was
How's
probably
that
the
for
best
voice
one
crack?
so far. That's always like the most awkward transition when we do these, but you actually got the timing well despite the Discord delay. I'm very proud of you. So!
I swear it wasn't. My voice cracked.
That is okay. We are here with Smoolio, extremely excited to check out their Puppeteer animatic. Smoolio, how are you doing today?
Pretty okay. Actually, I just spent the past, what do we got? 4 hours doing revisions for the animatic.
Yes, so
I
this is
uploaded
actually going to be a newer version of it. I was laughing off recording because I was looking at the description, and the description is, you would think that I would make sure it's perfect before uploading it to YouTube, right? Wrong. That just made me giggle. So, I am very excited not only to see this, but also to be one of the first people seeing this newer version that I assume is going up before this reaction does, but honestly, who knows at this point? You, though, might know Smoolio from great things like the Zeus section of the Canon God Game animatic and the something section from Casper's Stories from Styx.
Oh my god.
I don't remember which part everyone did. There were so many things.
He did two parts.
He did
Smoolio
two parts.
did Shade. Smoolio did the beautiful, gorgeous pedal part in Shades.
Oh,
song
yes,
2.
of course.
And then he did Demeter
Flower
and Zeus's
Shadies.
confrontation. Oh my god, Flower Shadies, I'm gonna fucking crash out.
Flower Shadies.
So,
Love that.
Smoolio, very talented. We have seen them in the Canon Animatics for 2 amazing products, and now we get to see their Puppeteer animatic. Smoolio, do you have anything you want to share with us or the audience before we before we click play?
I understood that perfectly. I was gonna say that this, I just mentioned that this is actually a version of the animatic that I don't think will go up because I don't want to confuse people on my channel. So it's kind of like, consider it, with all the corrections and revisions, consider it like how do I not make this sound pretentious? I don't care.
Exclusive.
Okay. Yeah, an exclusive, like a Blu-ray version of like the original animatic or something.
The director's cut.
I told you it would be pretentious. I swear, director's cut. I skipped that one, thank you very much. But yeah, no. So I figure when I finish my work on Done For, I'm well into progress on Done For, and then I'll do their other ways after. I'll probably just upload the revised versions of all of those in a single video to make it like a Cersei supercut or something.
That's cool. Well then, this is going to be the only place you're going to be able to see these little revisions. I am excited to see what it's going to be like. So without any further ado, Puppeteer!
Let's get going.
Ooh. Oh, whoa. Oh, wait! Okay. I love the way you, like, have the coloration kind of go across the feet in this way to, like, indicate that the water's going, like, over the feet. That's that's already such a cool touch. I love that. Ooh.
Peak.
Yeah, that's a cool Yuri design. Oh, da-fa.
Captain, I have something that I must confess. Something that I must get off my chest.
Oh my gosh, I love the body language, the way it's kind of like closed off, the way everything, like, with my various jobs working with
I muted here, Mason. Don't fucking put that in the video.
Oh my gosh, I love the body
Dude.
language, the way he's kind of like closed off, the way everything, like with my various jobs working with people, I've learned a lot about just like body language, especially when someone's feeling like awkward or vulnerable, because I have to know that to do my job very frequently. And this is such a good, like, I don't want to have to say this, like almost like the subconscious need to protect your core, even from just an emotional threat, is something that's very real and is really cool how well you've represented that.
Thank you so much.
Until it is said I cannot rest. Captain, you really got.
Ooh, the small move away. Oh,
Captain,
There's only so much left we can endure. Whatever you need to say can wait some more. Of that I'm sure.
oh, and I love the trees in the background. This is exceptional.
Dude. Nuts.
Oh, and actually showing.
Nice.
I like that a lot because
Peak.
actually, yes, that's like a minor complaint I have even with some of the ones that most people consider the most canon is like lyrically, and then for them visually, they just send Eurylochus off on his own, and then he comes back, he's like, I lost all the men! And it's like, Eurylochus,
What men?
how did you lose the men?
Dude,
it was just,
no.
Eurylochus only told you to go into the forest. How did you lose a bunch of men? So I really like that.
That's so cool.
What's up, Casper?
So there was a first of all, I agree, because I remember the first time you showed me Puppeteer, I thought that Eurylochus was under her spell because he came back so quickly. But can you go back to one of the frames that had the trees in the background, because I feel like in this one it's a bit more like I don't think smothered is the right word, but between the trees it's a bit more like organized. But if you go back,
more,
and this could to that looks like, especially like just behind Eurylochus. Do you see that to the right? It looks like a face just peeking with like an eye right
I do
there.
see that.
Is that random or is that intentional?
That is absolutely random.
Okay.
I'm so sorry to disappoint.
No, you're
fine.
great.
No.
Just pull a Gigi and just everything I say, just be like, yeah, I did that intentionally. Actually, go back
Nice
and
catch.
edit it so that I'm the one who said it. No.
Everything you just say, can you edit it so it's my voice and I'm explaining all of this?
But no, I really like that choice of showing the men going off.
But actually, if you pause for a moment, I can explain.
Oh, please.
Because what happened here is I started working on this animatic a really long time ago. And it was kind of before I even knew how to use the software I made it on. So what happened is I worked on it from beginning to end over about the course of 9 months because I got commissioned twice in between, and then some life stuff happened in the middle.
As it does.
I didn't expect to finish it actually, but I just kind of kept plugging away at it. And by the time I got to the end, I realized my art style had made a shift and an improvement. And it was now discrepant with the earlier sections of the animatic.
That makes sense, honestly, and that's really interesting to kind of consider, like, as I've talked a lot about in these sort of features with artists about how cool it is that Epic has allowed for so many artists to grow, but honestly, I never even considered how difficult that would be when you're working on something for so long to keep it consistent. You almost have to, like, mentally go backwards to be able to stay consistent. That's interesting, and again,
exactly.
Not something I would have considered.
And so when I mentioned... Oh, shoot.
No, go.
I'm sorry.
So sorry, go on.
Just when I mentioned revisions, it was the bulk of the revisions was just going back and making sure that certain shots were congruent with like character models at the end of the animatic and stuff, and adding in backgrounds where I previously had been too impatient to put them, etc.
Fair enough. That makes a lot of sense.
What you just mentioned.
Yeah.
I do have a question, because I'm already noticing that a lot. Well, it's something that all artists do, but I feel like in the beginning, you were doing a lot more animating rather than using the classic like camera movement, like as you're doing right here, where it pans up, where you can essentially make the illusion of this is being like one or two frames with the shadow I see is like a little.
Yeah, I was gonna say I was about to mention that it's cool that you get a little bit of shadow variation,
really cool.
but.
How do you pick and choose when to actively do more frames to animate animatic and when to like use the camera movement rather?
Well, what I try to emulate when I make animatics is how a realistic camera in real life would move and the effect that would have in a three-dimensional space. So, for example, if I'm moving the camera, I'll try to make this make sense. If I'm panning the camera to the left of an object that is in the center of the screen, I will have the background that I've drawn panned to the right.
Naturally.
So it's a parallax.
Smart.
And so I don't necessarily pick and choose when I use the camera pan. It's more how much I use it. I try to keep a little bit of movement or camera movement, even if it's minute. Like, I try to have a little bit of movement in every scene to kind of make it feel more alive and breathe. I don't like static shots.
Yeah.
I find that they're lacking, but it's just... I suffer from a mental illness called perfectionism. Chronically, they tell me it's terminal, so I just do what I can.
Jesus. Oh, fair enough, fair enough.
Oh, there he is.
Eurylochus, back so soon. Where's the rest of your crew? And by the gods, what happened to you?
Dude, the shake when
Yeah.
he kneeled was crazy.
Ooh, the color change?
Oh.
Wow.
It seemed to show no malice. To greet it was our choice, but nothing could prepare us for the power that awaited inside.
Oh!
Yeah, that's cool.
Sir, since we left home, we faced a variety of foes from a wide range of places. Gods, monsters, you know the roster. Hostile creatures that we could resist. But this was a hell of a twist.
Oh my gosh, I love the way, like, you can kind of, this is such an anime thing. I love the way you can see his eye through his hair there. That's such a cool, like, just little detail I wanted to mention.
That we could resist, but this was a hell of a twist. Cause we are weak to a power like this.
What was it?
A woman.
Incredible! Incredible!
Great.
Absolutely stunning. The hyper detailed and shadowed, followed by the least detail possible. That is peak comedy. Oh my
yeah.
god. I mean, honestly, that bit speaks for itself. And do you have anything specific you want to share about the decision making behind it?
It took me a while to find a way to convey the comedy of the scene.
Yeah.
And since my style is a little more realistic, I didn't want to make it chibi. I didn't want to play it completely straight. So I kind of had to look through different anime that I like, kind of cycle through a bunch of ideas before landing on that. But I'm really happy with how it turned out.
Absolutely, I agree. It was awesome.
What?
She had us in just 2 words.
Come and shine.
Oh,
She's pink. Oh my goodness.
Best part of your life.
I almost asked earlier why you chose to go black and white instead of going for something like a pink as they were going to Cersei's palace, but the answer was because you were waiting for her power before it went pink. That's awesome.
I think it's also because my thought process there was when Eurylochus is telling what happened to him, it's more of a storybook effect. Whereas when Cersei comes out and we're seeing the events as they unfold, it's happening, suddenly we're back there where it's happening in real time. It's no longer Eurylochus' recount of the events.
Okay, that's cool. I like that a lot. And I love this transition. The flash to pink is really well done. Oh, wow.
Thank you.
I couldn't say it better myself, Odysseus.
Go ahead and rest wherever you lie.
Wow.
I've got you. Don't worry, Sassy's got you now.
Only I
I'd go
stood
inside.
outside, but the rest went in.
Take a seat.
Wow, look at this place.
My
Oh my
pain.
gosh, this might
Gorgeous.
genuinely be my favorite Cersei's palace. This is amazing. I am loving the aesthetics here. I love the pouring out fountain. Wow, the pillars with a little bit of leaves on them. The way that you can convey like leaf and ivy growth so like I'm looking at that. You didn't use color. There's no green and there's no detail. It's just blobs. And yet I instantly understood that it was like moss and ivy growth. Like that's honestly, now that I'm looking at it more, I don't even know how I knew that. That's so impressive from your perspective, like to be able to communicate that in that way. Because, like, I instantly knew what it was, and now I'm looking at it and I'm like, but it doesn't even look like what I knew it was. How did you do that?
That brings me a lot of joy. I really, I had to learn to draw backgrounds for this. I was a bit lazier back in the day, but when I hit certain parts of the animatic, I realized that there was no half-assing this. I really had to go out of my comfort zone.
Fair.
And so, here you have it.
No, that makes sense.
God.
I'm a huge
gorgeous.
fan. I love the aesthetics of this place.
Bring you all something to eat. I bet you're tired from the years spent on your
Oh, they're so cute!
Don't worry,
Aren't they?
Santa's got you now.
I love the ears. I love all of this.
For inside the meal,
Think of your
she had cast a spell.
And it going to a darker pink now? Like, still staying within the pink, but go, ooh!
Jesus.
and your mistakes.
They began to squeal
They'll be the
and grow
last.
snouts and tails.
Oh, and the leg, oh my gosh! And that's the color of her magic! Casper! Look! Like, her eyes
see the
glow
light
the
out, yeah.
same color as what's coming out of her mouth? Stop it!
I've got all the power, yeah. I've got all the
Oh, he goes
power.
for
Now
her.
I'm a player, I'm a puppeteer. Now I don't
Oh
play, I'm
my
a
god, that is shit.
This is incredible. This is always such a backhanded compliment, and I never mean to say it like this. Like, I only ever mean it positively, but like, this is so much better than I thought it was going to be. And I feel like for a
So
lot
glad.
of people, that ends up being a backhand compliment because it's like, well, you didn't expect it to be good. And I'm like, no, I expect it to be good, and it's better. It's nothing but a compliment. That scene
Dude,
is
that's nuts. And the
incredible.
shine on the
Yes.
blade is crazy.
Stunning.
He kind of
Please,
deserved it
walk
for
us
how he was
through
eating the
this.
bread.
Yeah, please.
Did you see how he?
Anything
How
for
you
this
see? Do you see
scene.
how he took it? The bread on the table. Like that's the weirdest.
No,
Whoever
he was the
takes a
one
bite
drinking,
like
don't
that.
worry. It was it was Elpinor who was eating the bread that way.
Good. Entirely valid. Wait, I didn't even catch. Now I want to see what we're talking
Look!
about.
Look
here.
at it on the table after they start getting fucked up.
For inside the meal,
Think of your past.
she had cast a spell.
and your mistakes.
They began to squeal.
They'll be the last.
It'll come in a bit.
Mistakes.
I thought it was like animated him eating that way. What am I looking
Well,
at?
no. It was the aerial shot of the bread on the plate. It's coming after this.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, I've got all the power. No, I'm not a player, I'm a puppeteer. No, I don't play, I'm puppeteer, yeah.
They transformed.
There.
Are you?
Look, like who the fuck bites bread like that? Do you see that? Who eats
I
bread?
see.
Of course it's
Hey,
a
man.
Pinot.
Haven't you ever just gone for it when you're eating a
Yeah,
bun?
come
Like,
on, Casper.
I don't eat bread
Gotta
when
be
I'm
shows you've
feral
hungry.
never been at war.
sometimes.
No, I got discarded because of my eye. I couldn't get a war.
I had no such luck.
Jeez.
Luck is relative, actually.
Well, you know, how much longer till it runs out? Ha! Epic joke.
This is the prize.
Oh my
Oh
god!
my god!
I'm puppeteer, yeah.
They transformed.
This is the prize.
Smoolio! Do you have
Yeah.
a therapist? Are you okay? Like, do we need to get you talking to someone? What am I
Therapy's
looking
expensive, drawing is free.
I see.
at? That, Mason, that has to be the cold open. That has to be the cold. Is this frame me saying, have you gotten therapy, and Smoolio just responding, therapy is expensive, drawing is free. Like, Jesus. Oh my god, this is stunning. This is so well done, dude. Like,
She turned our men
oh my gosh.
from men to pigs.
And to forgive.
She changed them.
Wow! Smoolio, talk to us. Tell us things. I want to know all the
All right.
things.
Okay, I'm so glad you asked. Well, basically, a gripe that I have with a lot of depictions of Puppeteer is that the men's transformation from men to pigs, which I find to be an inherently horrific thing, it's like a loss of humanity. It's like turning into a lesser creature, as it were. It's kind of portrayed as like a cutesy, a fun little goof that Cersei pulls, like, haha, gotcha. It's,
Yeah, fair.
got your nose, got your humanity. But I think I find that to be kind of a horrific concept just on the face of it, and it kind of irked me that whenever I see people try and dive into that, they don't really know how to handle it. And I felt like the only way to go was just kind of take it kind of seriously at face value. Like, of course they would fight back when they feel it coming on. Of course it would be an incredibly painful process, like if your bones are shifting, if your muscle tissue is snapping apart and remolding, like I nearly went harder, but then I didn't want to get like taken down or something, but I just felt like the subject matter kind of deserved a serious take on it.
Yeah, no, I'm 100% in agreement. This is awesome. This is
I've got all the power, I've got all
and he's crying magic.
No, I don't play, I'm Puppeteer.
Oh
shit.
my god! And she looks and notices that, like, wow.
Dude, you are so good at portraying emotions.
Yeah.
Like in
I'm
character. That
so
is
glad.
nuts.
It is one of my passions, actually.
It's
like
clear.
the twitching
It's
eyebrows.
So well done.
How did you learn? What's like how?
I didn't even notice the brown eyebrow
I guess
twitching.
I don't even know. I couldn't even pin down where I learned. It's kind of, I think you can have all the ingredients for an amazing animation and an amazing story, but if the emotional aspect falls flat, and if the characters aren't expressive, and if you can't tell what they're feeling on their face, I think it's kind of like a hollow pie, as it were. It just doesn't hit, it doesn't land. And so I guess going into this and making my animatics in general, I kind of need to decide how I'm going to go about depicting the emotions that the characters are feeling as these events are unfolding. Because I think, may I, permission to yap, officer?
Please.
But I think to speak to animatics on a larger scale, I think that people, in an abstract sense, like as a generalization, people could do well to take more time to put thought into the narrative that happens beneath what's going on in the words in the text. Because I think to have a satisfying animatic or animation or what have you, you need to have the layer of the words that are happening in the song that is being sung, and then you also need to tell an underlying story through the visuals. And that starts with what the characters are feeling and the headspace that they're in, and you need to try to get into their heads. And I think there's a lot of fertile ground there that could be used, and a lot of people don't really think maybe to tap into that. Yeah. And I think a lot of people maybe can't even nail down what makes a story satisfying to them, but it's not c'est pas sorcier, quoi. It's not rocket science. There we go. Sorry.
You're good. No, I love that. I love that the priorities. I love that sort of interpretation, not only on like what you're presenting us here, but also on just like the medium in general. And it makes me so excited to see the other things you're working on, honestly. Like,
they're good.
No, we don't. Look at all we've lost and all we've learned. Every single cost is so much more than what we've earned.
Oh my
Think
god.
about the men we have left before they're none. Let's just cut our losses, you and I, and let's run.
This is like, I have kind of almost a weird thing to say about this, that I feel like depending on who hears it, like it could be interpreted kind of either way. Because like, sometimes animation is good because it's a different take on real life, and sometimes animation is good because it does things that real life cannot do. But like this feels like it could be recreated one-to-one in live action, other than the transformation scene, obviously, but like him like on his knees, hand in the sand, like this feels so real. It's so non-fantastical, which is such an interesting choice for animation.
I'm so glad you think that way, because I feel like, especially when we're on the topic of epic, and it's kind of based around Greek mythology, but also a more fantastical take with certain elements. And I always felt like there were certain artists who inspired me. But I could never kind of find exactly what I was looking for in it, like artist and animatic wise.
Yeah.
I think my inspirations, my biggest ones would be Wolfie the Witch, Gigi, and Murchie. And here's the thing, I found that Gigi has an amazing set of takes on Epic in the events. It's kind of like a Disney movie, a little bit, you know? Like, it very much plays up the happy-go-lucky, more fantastical elements in a lot of cases. And Wolfie the Witch their takes are almost more grounded, and in a way that I find very satisfying. It feels less like Epic the Musical and more like the Odyssey set to Epic songs.
No, I like that a lot.
Feels very classical in the way it's handled, and I wanted to kind of, and this may sound pretentious, it really might, but I wanted to find a middle ground between the two where it could still be undeniably epic, but also like have a more serious, mature handling of the subject matter. But I couldn't find it anywhere else.
That's phenomenal, and I think you accomplished it extraordinarily well. That's absolutely what I'm seeing here. That's absolutely what I'm noticing in the experience. Like, yeah, you did exceptionally well with that, and I think that's really good.
Thank you.
Of course I'd like to leave now. Of course I'd like to run. But I can hardly sleep now, knowing everything we've done. There's no length I wouldn't go if it was you I had to save. I can only hope you do the...
What?
I'm so sorry. Can you go back a little bit? Just on the... I think pattern recognition. Because I know, like, once I clocked that it was supposed to be like a low res of him, like that's his nose and stuff. Imagine the nose is his mouth and the dot is his nose. So I was looking at it at first. So at first I was like, oh, he's like, he's not listening to me again. Oh yeah, I'm very sorry. I'm so sorry.
I knew I should have added the eyes. As
we're hearing the like is there a reason you were one of the only animators that decided not to visually tease Hermes when the music teases him?
I guess I was kind of a lot more interested on focusing on Eurylochus in this segment.
Entirely
and
valid.
The animatic at large. I feel like there are a lot of songs that could... Darn it. Never again, Casper, I swear. This is going to be your fault too.
I'm sorry.
I was gonna say that I feel like there are a lot of songs because Eurylochus is my favorite character in Epic. It's probably fairly obvious. I'm not saying he's a perfect person, but there are a lot of
Smoolio W.
There are a lot of songs that I think could be. You might say that they're songs that are his in part, that he kind of gets shunted to the side in because there's a more interesting character, or Odysseus is in it, or like. I don't know. It feels like he doesn't get nearly as much recognition as he deserves.
No way. You're saying Eurylochus gets bumped out of his own storyline by main character syndrome, and that might affect people's perceptions of him? That's crazy, Smoolio. That's absolutely
I feel
crazy.
like I've walked into my parents arguing.
It's okay. Just for a second. Hey, Mason, can you please show Smoolio's Instagram comment on my Eurylochus diss from Slady's right here? Thank you.
I can't believe you read that.
I can hear her still.
Spin shot.
Ooh.
Oh my god.
Would you choose to leave?
Oh, she was...
Oh, they're the pigs.
Oh, look at Kitty. Oh, the whoa. I love all the animals around. That fits her so well, but yeah, that's awesome.
And mythologically accurate.
Yes.
And she's hard to slay.
Oh, whoa.
But you don't have to play. I have to try.
I
love the way that as she goes to leave, it goes a little more orange, as if she's like starting to join their environment.
Dude. Pause.
Here's where exactly. Yes.
Dude, your continuity is insane.
Yes.
Like Smoolio, like if they ever adapt Epic into a movie, I feel like you should be like at least like either lead storyboard or something like that, because this is genuinely insane.
So happy.
Like wow.
Absolutely. And yeah, what do you say?
I
Like the
turned it
consistency.
a bit more from pink to orange, by the way, Mortius, because like again, like when I transitioned from the white painterly aspect of the storybook, it's because we're now going from Cersei in the events of the flashback still to like now this is currently they're on the same page timeline wise.
Yes! Oh my god!
Power, no, I'm not a player, I'm a puppeteer. No, I don't play, I'm puppeteer, yeah.
Incredible.
Peak.
Incredible.
Absolute
yes,
cinema.
Peak. Yes.
Oh my god.
No, genuinely, that's stunning.
Yeah, I remember this
That
one.
is
It's so
exceptional.
cute.
Yeah, that's so good.
Wait, play it. Let it fade in. Yay!
Oh, that is adorable.
Look at him.
Relatable
Little
for all
Smoolio.
artists in some way. Smoolio, thank you so much for that. That was incredible. If you guys have not already supported Smoolio, this is a reason that you absolutely have to go do so. Please make sure you are supporting him on all of these platforms.
It's
Smoolio.
really okay. Like, only if you want to, man.
No! No! Do it! Do it! Do it. Casper doesn't get that reference either, which is a lot more atrocious than not understanding the other references.
hasn't seen Star Wars.
Casper has not seen Star Wars.
I've played the Lego games, bro. I know about
it's fine.
it.
He's got everything spoiled then. It's okay. No point.
I know. I've seen a clip of like the grandma that you like save in the beginning.
I beg
what?
your pardon?
The, like,
Okay,
grandma.
Thank
it's
you
a
all
Lego
so
game.
much for
Cut him
being
some
here. I
slack.
appreciate you all so much for being here. Thank you for supporting me and only me, and just ignore whatever that guy's saying over there. Thank you so much to our patrons scrolling to the side of the screen. Thank you to Smoolio for not only giving us such an incredible animatic, but also joining us and talking us through some of it. And as always, greet the world with open arms, and we will see you in the next video. Good.
Thank you so much.
Bye, Smoolio.